attack, fast fatal heart impact, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and packs. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're just freaked out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kira's show here. And now, whenever we last left off, Mr. Something, his 4 little demons, they've fulfilled their mission. They got him a piece of equipment. This allows the person to enhance their quirk to an unknown degree. And, sadly, his little plan won't be able to go completely through. His entire plan was to actually kidnap and take some students from UA tonight. However, earlier today, Kirishima informed them that the Punisher was here. And it became a bit odd whenever his daughter and a few other people in their little friends group were talking with Mei Hatsume and the Punisher. However, Kirishima explained that the man was wearing a different person's face. So, it was able to be overlooked. However, you do have All Might. He is still shocked at learning that the dead UA students, 2 of them were here tonight. And the other 2, they simply all have the same abilities. Demonic wings, the capability to fly, and from what he saw, horns. How is it possible that they have horns? Along with that, there was Mina's skin pigmentation. It itself changed. Now, with that being said, you do have All Might, who is looking through all of the rubble, and Mei Hatsume. She is beginning by testing out the suit's actual capabilities, being able to lift up a large piece of rubble with one hand, and measuring exactly how much it actually does weigh, and how much stress is being put on the suit. She's lifting, let's say about, up to 1 ton of force, with one arm, and it is actually putting a lot of stress on the suit. However, whenever she does begin to actually use the suit to its maximum, it becomes far less of a stress. And they find that there is no one here. There are no life signs. And they don't hear anyone. All Might simply just saying that they are alone. Now, Miss Hatsume, I would like an explanation. How was it that Izuku Midoriya was here? Well, as she actually does have the faceplate come up, telling All Might that she... All Might, I'm not gonna lie to you. Hell. In fact, I think you might actually be a good help. I'm sorry, what are you talking about? Well... Okay, you can just go ahead and buff down. I know how much of a strain that is on you. How... Miss Hatsume, I am unaware of what you were talking about. Are you really serious? Listen. Midoriya, he's already talked to you, he knows about One for All for One, and all this. He has the ability to shapeshift, and that is why he turned into Bakugo. He then talked to you, and gave you a rousing speech, something along the lines of keep moving forward. Okay. No wonder that wasn't Bakugo. Anyways, All Might buffing down, and Mei being surprised exactly how much Midoriya meant he was weakened by. As he goes on to state, I'm guessing you already know about this then. Okay. Do you mind filling me in on the details? Well, earlier today, we did have a problem. We got the suit fully up and operational. For the last week, Midori has been helping me, your friend David, and his daughter Melissa. We have all been working on this suit. Its design. David wanted to test his self-efficient battery, but I don't believe he ever thought of anything that could work like this. However, this suit, it's the perfect little investment, as he said. He said that he's aware that my suit, it being able to do what it can do, it's all, well, it's too energy costly. So, that's how this project started. He saw it as an investment, I saw it as an opportunity. The two collided and mutual interest aligned. And Midoriya, he's the entire reason behind all of this. I'm sorry? What do you mean? My suit, the designs for everything. Hell. At first, I felt like I was piggybacking off his success, but now I see that it's a bit more complicated than that. Some of the ideas that I implemented into the suit actually did help out, so that's at least good. However, fine. I'm not going to stall anymore, All Might. Yes, I knew it was Midoriya. Yes, he is here. And before you do ask, yes, Bakugo knows too. So does, well, Ibara, Momo, and Todoroki. I'm sorry, young Todoroki is involved in this. Yes, he is actually. In fact, how do you think the Punisher has been here for the last week and has still been overseas taking care of business? You were telling me young Todoroki is... Oh dear. Yes, but I'm guessing you have your own questions. Yes. How is it exactly that those two were their demons, All Might? Or at least, I think so. I'd have to ask Midoriya. In fact, Hmm. Were you gonna try and turn him in? Do anything like that? No, Miss Hatsume. I believe that this has gone far beyond everyone's capabilities. But is he actually an angel? Something along those lines. Whenever he got shot in the head a couple months ago, his guardian angel brought him back. Or at least kept him alive. Then, from what I know, in a confrontation with a demon, he died. His guardian angel giving him an option. Rest in peace, she says, making sarcastic finger quotes, or simply punish the wicked, and help stop a man by the name of Mr. Something. Now, after a long, thought out conversation as to exactly who Mr. Something is, what exactly is going on, and exactly what has been going wrong, yeah. Guardian angels either turning or being murdered, and they themselves basically being targets. The complexity of the sin, all that stuff. All Might having some of his theories actually solved, while posing new ones. Now, Midoriya, he then, well, over with Midoriya. He's currently still trying to think. Whatever they have, whatever piece of technology, it's not good. So, if it comes to it, well, he could just go there now. The Yairozu Corporation building. And he has a pretty good idea. If he goes there tonight, well, he'd have to face all five of them. And he most likely would die. In fact, his guardian angel is pointing him away from that situation, telling him that before he even gets close to that building, she would let him fall out of the sky. She would keep him alive, but she would keep him away from that building in particular. He would be completely on his own if he tried to walk in there. Midoriya, he does have to agree. From a tactical standpoint, nothing is in his favor. You do have the fact that there are security guards, innocent people, and basically a 5v1 scenario. So, exactly what's going on here? Now, with that being said, we do cut to the next day. And you do have All Might, who is currently sitting in the school office building. And you do have Mr. Aizawa. All Might is currently writing some things down. Aizawa, still trying to sleep. However, he's had a lot of sleepless nights himself. He feels like he's losing control of the scenario. In fact, after moving all the kids into the dorms and doing all that, it still feels like something might happen. He himself is getting paranoid. And President Mike isn't trying to make things any easier. He keeps trying to go on a high note. Oh, the situation should be more like this and more like this. No, Mike. People are dead. Not the time for that. That's basically the relationship and dynamic that's been going on for them, for those of you who are curious. Anyways, I believe I'm talking too fast. I'm going to try and slow down. Now, All Might does have his questions written down. And the ones that he does want to have solved first, yeah. He is ready. And he actually does walk into the teacher's lounge. And, well, someone walks into UA. Midoriya wearing someone else's face, eventually coming to the school office room and asking for Mr. All Might. Both the two being told that he's in the teacher's lounge. Both of the two telling him he's in the teacher's lounge. My bad. Now, I broke my concentration, so now I'm trying to get back on it. Anyways, this student heads to the teacher's lounge and does knock on the door. All Might telling them to come in, and watching as the student not only walks in, but closes the door behind him, and turns to All Might after locking it. So, I believe that you're who I think you are, correct? Midoriya walking over and sitting down, looking to see, well, a cup of water. Midoriya picking it up and walking over to the sink, pouring it out and getting a cup of coffee, before coming back over and sitting down, and waving his hand in front of his face. All Might watching that in complete surprise. How is that magic? Anyways, so I'm actually kind of weirded out by this. Last time we talked, you weren't exactly in the right state of mind. Yes, I did have questions about that. Why were you here? I check in on my friends. In fact, Hatsume has become important to me. So, I hope to protect her. And if I can't do that, then I will make sure that she is safe. In fact, she's also a very brilliant mind. It's quite beautiful, actually. She's very creative and very smart. She's also very handy with a wrench. Ah, my dad would have loved her. I'm thinking about taking her out to fire a rifle. Okay, is that what you would consider to be a... Sorry, off topic. Anyways, young man. Young... Midoriya? Midoriya is fine. Ah, okay. Well, I got a rundown from Miss Hatsume last night. Mm-hmm. So, divine intervention, is that it? Yeah. Ah, this is weird. Well, I mean, it shouldn't really be a surprise. Midoriya, saying something that sounds audible, but All Might can't hear, let alone even recognize. That being where a, well, glow surrounds the entire room. And there is Midoriya's guardian angel, sitting down next to All Might. Him turning and somewhat freaking out, and trying to understand this. This being where she simply just says, "Hello, Mr. Toshinori." or Mr. Yagi, saying that he does look a lot different from the last time they met. I'm sorry? Well, I did help you survive your injuries. What are you talking about? Well, it's quite simple. Guardian angels, they sometimes help whenever other ones can't. In your case, I helped you. In fact, it was before your angel died. Or I believe they did. They were possibly murdered. It's all a bit iffy. Something is going on right now. The war is still raging, and numbers are being lost fast. Both sides are losing. We believe that Earth will be the final battlefront. Our, well, way to hold the line. What are you talking about? Well, listen. Several years ago in your confrontation with All for One, you were supposed to die. I stopped that from happening. I gave you the edge in the fight. I kept you alive. After I did, well, went. Looked for someone to guard. And I could see that the boy would encounter multiple near-death experiences. In fact, they were quite prone and prevalent. Few, if in between. Then I began to watch him. And I saw what this boy became. Whenever he became a murderer, I could see his injustice. So I kept watching. Then he unknowingly killed a demon. And our man in charge, our Holy Father, he simply issued one statement. This boy was able to kill a demon. If he is to ever die, simply bring him to our cause. He killed a lot of people, and they all deserved it. In fact, it wasn't even seen as a sin, or at least not a proper one. A sin that can be undone. And he did. He has murdered almost upwards to 400. Well, for humans, that number, I believe, is higher. Now, young Izuku, exactly what is that number up to? Well, I'm glad you asked. I've been trying to keep count. Midoriya, putting his hand in his pocket and pulling out his book. Opening it and flipping through the pages. Before suddenly just looking up and saying, his numbers are up to 4,988. Young man, you are, hmm, you are. I am the Punisher. Just remember, none of those people were innocent. That does not matter. Taking a life is not right. Really? Isn't that what you're going to do with Awful One all those years ago? Take his life? An evil monster? That was a different scenario. He is the one who... Go on. I would like to hear your reasoning. Okay. I can see your point. I am not one to judge, clearly. But anyways, how is this all possible? It shouldn't be, right? No, it's all quite possible. For millions of millennia, we've kept our war contained. However, the occasional, well, little thing here bleeds through. So, Toshinori, you need to be ready. I believe that I can help you. Are you actually going to do it? Yes, Inuzuku. I believe I should. What are you talking about? Young man, take my hand and I will heal you, restore you to your youth, and improve upon your physical performance. Um, what do you mean? She'll restore your body, All Might. To before your fight, to before your battle. It'll be just like being in your prime. However, every day I find myself getting stronger. She tells me that it's because I'm not in my prime yet. So, once I reach the height of my power, I'm gonna stay there. It's as much as I know. Now, All Might reluctantly takes the angel's hand. And, after his body glows, and the area around his wound heals, he buffs up, slowly increasing in muscle mass before reaching the ginormous form. And the angel does actually let go of his hands, before actually just disappearing and fading. Going back into Midoriya as his chest does actually somewhat glow, along with his eyes. Midoriya bringing his hand up and just asking if she is alright. Yes, child, I am. I simply had to store a part of my essence. Oh. So you had to merge with him too, right? Correct. I did not think it would be tiring. Okay. You just stay rested. I think I can handle things on my own while you do that. No, you should be able to use my abilities. I should be fine. Okay, well, don't stress yourself. Child, I am millions of years old. Stressing myself is far out of the question. Okay. Just making sure. Um, Midoriya looking up, saying that he's having a conversation with her. Alright. Well, this is odd. Everything feels like it's in the right place. Midoriya watching All Might bring his hands up to his face, running his hands down and finding that he's actually in his prime. Running over to a mirror and looking into it, pulling up his shirt and seeing that there is no injury. Before asking exactly why, she calls it a gift. You are the symbol of peace. In fact, if it hasn't been for you, she's telling me that the world would have been lost ages ago. Especially with your quirk, one for all. The world would have been brought into madness and we would currently be in a barren wasteland. I see. Well, I believe my predecessors did actually help accomplish something even after death. Predecessors? How many were there? Well, there were 8, including me. Katsuki is currently number 9. Okay. Well, All Might, will you help me in my cause to fight evil? Midoriya says, throwing out his hands. All Might, unsure, and simply just asking exactly why. Why would he help a murderer? Because your evil is teaming up with my evil. The only reason Mr. Something would want that type of quirk enhancer technology is because he does not have a quirk himself. Listen, I'm guessing there's something going on between the League of Villains. After I turned that fucker that needed chapstick into Swiss cheese, he probably got mad. I'm sorry, who was that? I don't know. All I know is that apparently he was one of the guys who died. No medical records. Quite odd. Anyways, I'm going to kill Mr. Something. After I do, I'm working my way down the list. And your evil just so happens to be on it. What do you say? If you help me take down All for One, that would be quite the help. Along with young Katsuki. If All for One does have that enhancement technology, there's no telling how powerful he can be. My point exactly. So, what do you say? It is a deal, young man. All Might throwing out his hand and shaking Midoriya's, before going out to test his youth, going out in hero work, and deciding to take on the older costumes. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing night. Catch you guys in the next part.